breaking down this Buffalo Bills Miami Dolphins film. And there's a lot to talk about. Some good, some bad. But I feel like that's every week. What is up, Fin fans? It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. You know what that means. If you don't get that, it's from Vine. But it is Wednesday, which means a film breakdown. Like I said, for the Patriots, you guys are getting the full uncut version. So this is probably an extremely long video because it does take me a while to not only go through the entire film, which is like an hour and a half of me combing through it, taking my notes, writing down timestamps, talk about this, talk about that, yada, yada. But then also sometimes I'm like, that's redundant. I kind of talked about that, cut it out. It's a lot of trimming to get it from an hour and a half recording with you with this down to about half hour, 45 minutes, because I feel like you guys on YouTube don't want to watch a long ass video of that. But yes, so that is the perk of being a Patreon. Speaking of Patreons and members, because members, you guys get to see it before anybody else gets to see it. I have new patrons and new members. First, on the member side, Florida born, Kentucky grown. Thank you so much for joining the membership. And on the Patreon side, Michael Garrity and Jonathan Hoffman. Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, if you guys would like to, don't ever feel like you need to, but there are special perks, like one of these being you get to see the video earlier or you get to see an uncut version. You can join the Patreon. It is linked below in the description, or you can join the membership. It is the join button right next to the subscription. But without further ado, I'm going to jump into this film breakdown. We have a lot to talk about. Good, bad, and ugly, like I said before. So one of the themes I noticed about the offense, and again, I talked about this in my post game of this game, and it was the entire offense failed this game. The defense held the Bills for 2.5 quarters. The defense did really well, shutting them down, and we'll talk about that. There's certain third and longs. There was a ton of pressure at points. Did very well. It was the offense in a whole. I will show you plays where Tua could have done better. I will show you plays where the offense could have done better. Offensive line, I'm going to show you plays where the play calling could have done better. And I'm going to show you plays where the wide receivers could have done better. But then I'll also show you plays where it did work out. It was like the offense was there, but they just weren't where they needed to be to score more points and win the game. So we're going to jump into this first play. As you can see here, this is going to be a potential sack. And what we're going to see here is at the point that Tua gets the pressure on him, and it gets to him quick, is there a guy open before then? Could he have gotten the ball out quick instead of essentially him throwing the ball into the ground? So we're going to jump right into this. I'll play it. It's going to be a little bit of motion from Gesicki. He's dropping back. And again, takes the sack. So he tries to get it. I think that's to Gaskin. We'll rewind it a little bit to see if at any point, so again, we're going to see this motion kind of shoot us in the foot at a potential to take a 10-3 lead going into the half and getting the ball after the half. So play action here. Now he could drop it off to Gesicki here. These two guys are not ready, not even looking. No one's, again, drop it off to Gesicki here. Parker's not open. He's got 3 guys in front of him. You're going to have the running back block and then go out. So no one's open. Again, he could drop it off to Gesicki here. Then the pressure comes into his face. He realizes it, rolls out, sees Gesicki. So at the point of him getting the pressure on him, he could have dropped it off to Gesicki. And then he rolls out to his left, tries to get it to Gaskin here, and he does not. And we'll look at the other angle just to show how the offensive line did in this situation. And if they did well, and Robert Hunt is already struggling here. Robert Hunt had a struggle on some of the pass plays. Same thing with Liam Eichenberg here, which essentially that's where the pressure came from. And then he tried to get it off. Because you could see, let me rewind a scotch. When the pressure gets to him, will look up the field, right? Devontae Parker, at the point of the pressure, he's not going to try to, he could try to rocket it here, but you have to worry about the safety coming up. You also have Waddle here, who's not really ready for it. And with you rolling out to the left, you don't want to try to make that throw, and God forbid 24 picks it off. Here he's trying to evade the tackle, and then which kind of tripped him up, and then he's just trying to get the ball off. If he wasn't falling, I could see him trying to make the throw here or even here. He had options, but he was getting sacked. This play, it's going to be offsides on the defense. You could see they're sending a ton of pressure at Tua here. It's bunch formation here, tight formation. And he's going to throw it to Waddle. Waddle's going to be running a little bit of an out here. My pencil's really thin now all of a sudden. He's going to be running an out there. And he actually gets it to him with the amount of pressure he gets in his face from the offsides. Because he gets a ton of pressure in his face here. So he's got pressure in his face. No one else is really open. Backpedaling, throws it. So about, 20 yards here? Gets it to him. But again, he's going to get the first down. They're going to decline the offsides here. But that's just, I talk about this consistently with Tua, right? And it's his inconsistencies that are kind of his downfall, because there were some plays before this where he, overthrew Devontae Parker on an easy slant route, or he just makes bad throws, but then all of a sudden gets pressure in his face, he's backpedaling, and he can throw a 20-yard pass to Waddle to get the first down. He just needs to put those together. He needs to take those good plays, and we'll see some more where he needs to take those plays and put them together. But then we'll go into this next play. Risky. So this is a risky one. Real quick slant from Devontae Parker, and he threads that needle. And I tweeted this out. I said, that's a big boy throw, because you need to have some big cojones to throw this pass to Devontae Parker, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You got Albert Wilson in motion, play action here, right? Drops here, so he can drop it off to here. He could drop it off to here, and he sees him. All right, I got him. I could drop it off to Gesicki. I could drop it off to Albert Wilson here. I'm going to fit it in there. I'm going to get him that ball. You can see something's loading. I can get him that ball. But see the hesitation? And the hesitation is because of 55 right here. He's like, I don't know. This is where he throws it in between Edmonds, and I think this is Milano, right in between here. And now I don't know if that's on Tua for just threading that needle. Like, geez Louise, do you thread that needle? Or if that's on the defenders for just being so slow to react to it. Well, look at the other angle of it, because he threads that needle. Like, holy crap. Just threads that needle. I don't know if you'll say good job Tua or risky Tua. That seems like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type throw. That does really seem like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type throw, because he threaded that needle. So this is a play where Tua kind of misses an opportunity here. I'll draw you the routes real quick. You're going to have Jalen Waddle. I don't know my brain doing a crossing route. Not that. He doesn't go up and in. It's just that's what happened there. You're going to have another crossing route here from Gesicki, and then you're going to have Gaskin doing a wheel route. I'd love to change the color of these markers, but again, this is a free software. Beggars can't be choosy. And it looks like his first read is Gaskin, because he looks at Gaskin for a minute. Then he kind of looks at Gesicki, and he notices that Gesicki, I'll show you. He notices that Gesicki's covered. So look, he's looking at Gaskin. And then he's looking at Gesicki. And then he sees Waddle coming across, and he dumps it off to Waddle with pressure in his face. Here's the thing, though. And if you watched, I'll go back. I think this is a Shaheen here. He had Shaheen. Shaheen was also running a crossing route. He had Shaheen. Right there. So as he's focusing over here, because his you can't really see, he's a white blur, but his eyes are here. So as he's focusing on this area, Shaheen's getting wide open. And he lets it rip. He lets it rip to Waddle here. This is a touchdown. Worst case, a converting of, get it down here. And again, at this point, I think it's still 0-0. Yes, it's still 0-0 because this is when Sanders misses the field goal, but he should have thrown it here. He should have dropped back, looked, and then looked. But he drops back, he looks at Gaskin, he looks at Gesicki, and then he looks at Waddle. His eyes never go over to Shaheen. He should have boop, and then checked real quick because he had time. Because he kind of looks for a second. He had time. Should have hit him. Could have been a touchdown. This is a play that makes me very happy because I'm always defending Christian Wilkins. And Christian Wilkins comes up big for a big run stop here. This is Christian Wilkins right here, if you can't tell by his big old butt. He's going to shed not one, but 2 blocks, and he's going to make the tackle in the backfield. And it is a thing of beauty. He sheds the guard here. Not really sheds him, but he moves off of him, sheds the center, and then makes the tackle in the backfield. I know it's not big, it's not sexy, it's not what everyone wants to see, sacks and all that stuff. But the movement of him getting off and then getting off the center, essentially throwing the center to the ground. I don't know why I'm pointing because you can't see it, but he throws the center to the ground and makes the tackle for the loss. That's something I haven't seen come from this defense in a while. When I saw it, I was very happy, and I needed to show you guys, and I needed to target it. Bramble, this is a 3rd and long because we had the run stop from Wilkins, and then we had an incomplete pass. This is a 3rd and long, and the Dolphins are in man, and we're always like, finally, they're in man. But it's not good because most of the routes are going to take our defenders to the Josh Allen's left, the defense's right side of the field. It's going to take the whole defense over here. And you'll see he's going to motion the running back over. So that's going to take the linebacker, pull him over. You have these routes going across. You have a deep route here. You have a crossing route here. And you have another route here, which essentially is going to open up this entire area of the field. And all these defenders have their back, except for Javon Holland, who's playing deep center or deep right, and just going to let Josh Allen get a big chunk of yardage. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, why didn't they? What makes them think that, okay, we're going to play man, which I'm happy about because that's the better defense to run with the type of secondary we have. But what makes you think to not take somebody and put them in a quarterback spy? Because your pressure's not getting there. And I'll show another play where the pressure's not getting there. You're just going to leave Josh Allen to just have all that free reign to run? Got to put someone in a spy. I love the man coverage, but you got to put someone in the spy. And again, for the first 2.5 quarters, that's nitpicking. Because they end up stopping them. They do end up stopping them. Because they don't score more than 3 points for, like I said, 2.5 quarters. But got to put a quarterback spy there. So this is a run play to Ahmed. It's going to go to the left here. And the reason I'm showing you this play is, again, the liability that is Jesse Davis. If he is on the team next year, I'm going to lose my mind. Probably a fantastic human being, but again, just horrible as an offensive lineman. And you'll see here, it's like he tries to shoulder the defensive end here, right? And just the worst blocking. Why don't you put your hands? Why are you essentially rubbing shoulders with the defensive tackle? Look at this. Put your hands on him. And the other thing that drives me nuts, and this absolutely drives me nuts when I see this on run plays, is when I see offensive linemen doing this, whereas this is happening. Like, what is Eichenberg, Hunt, and Davis doing? Standing, like, all 2 or 3 yards forward from your running back getting tackled. If you're standing there not doing anything, means you didn't block your guy. What is going on there? So this is second down and long, about second down at 10. And I'm showing you guys this play. It's a very simple play. It's a play action, and then he finds Devontae Parker across the middle on a crossing route, wide open for an easy first down. And the reason I'm showing you this play is because this is what a good run game can do for your quarterback. Like, you could take a good offensive line, right, which is incredibly important, but people underestimate how a good run game can completely change the dynamic of quarterback. And you'll see here that you're going to see these linebackers, because the Dolphins were running pretty successful. I'm not going to say great, because if they were, then I think the game would have been different. But they were running pretty successful to the point where these linebackers bite so hard on the play action that Devontae Parker, let me draw it up for you. So these guys come up and they bite so hard on the play action that Devontae Parker gets open behind them. He gets wide open behind them because of how hard they go to stop the run. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll show you at 2 angles, but you'll see what I'm talking about. See how they go up to stop the run? See how they have their hands up and they're ready to make contact with the run? And essentially you have, these guys in the backfield. Look at Devontae Parker. Wide open. And you can even, I'll show another angle where you see 24, I think it's Poyer, kind of saying, oh crap, and try to get back. But easy first down. Gets the ball down the field. And again, we'll look at it from the other angle. You'll see how 24 bites on the run and then has to get back. Crap. See that? And then the back. That's how important a good run game is. The Miami Dolphins have not had a good run game, and this is sad to say, since Jay Ajayi, since the Unicorn offensive line. And that year was the year we went to the playoffs. And I've consistently said on this channel, if they have a top 10 offensive line and a top 10 defensive line, the Miami Dolphins will win the division. They'll beat the Bills. It doesn't matter. Like, if Tua has that in front of him, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, he'll play better because of plays like this where things will just be so open that anyone can make the throws. But with no run game, that fake out on the play actions aren't there. So Tua play actions, and then he's like looking for something, versus that where Devontae Parker's butt naked open because the defense bit on the run. So if you guys remember, I probably said it with the editing about 20 minutes ago, not even, about his inconsistencies. And Tua, when it comes to the RPOs, when it comes to the play action and getting that ball out, he's quick. He's very quick. But then here, it's second and long, and he's going to take a sack. And you're going to see here, he could have easily just got the ball out. So I'm going to play it for you. He's clapping to get the ball off, right? Plants his back foot. 97's, going to get pressure on him. But right here, you have a guy driving, but you throw it to his left outside shoulder, and he could possibly turn it upfield, get some more yards on that. You got to get that ball out to him. And that is something that he still kind of struggles with, is getting that ball out. Boom, let it rip. Now, he feels the pressure there, so he's going to take off, right? Let it rip. But you see that little hesitation? He feels the pressure, so he feels like he needs to step up. Could have got that. He could have definitely got that ball off to him. The sad thing is, though, and again, it's no excuse because I keep telling you, throw the ball here. As soon as he drops back and that back foot hits, just let that ball rip to this player. But they sent 4. And Eichenberg's on the ground. But again, that's another situation where his inconsistency and his tendency to hold on to the ball too quick instead of making quick decisions kind of bit him in the butt. So this is a third down here at this point. It's 3-3. It's a tie game. And this is third down here. And this is the thing. Xavier Howard mentioned it in the post press conferences. These play calls were on defense reminded him of last year of 2020 when we had a very good defense, and it frustrated me if you guys don't remember from that video. And this is a prime example of it. It's 3rd and 7, and they're going to send pressure on Josh Allen. They're going to play man across the board, a single high safety with Javon Holland back here. They're playing man across the board, and they're sending pressure on him. They're sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 6. He's going to keep some guys in, but the pressure gets to him, and Allen falls. If they would have done this in other games, if they would have done this in games where the defense was struggling against a rookie like Trevor Lawrence, against Matt Ryan, who's not very mobile, I think they would have won those games, especially with the offense putting up 20-plus points. Defense at this point was holding the Buffalo Bills, who has one of the best offenses in the NFL, to 3 points for 2.5 quarters. But you'll see they get a ton of pressure on Josh Allen, and then he throws a dumb pass. We'll look at it from another angle here, but he throws a dumb pass that, why are you throwing that? Easily could be intercepted. But the pressure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gets to him. He feels the pressure. And then he sees it. He sees that Stephon Diggs got open and just threw it up there. But I don't understand why it took till now for them to dial up that type of pressure. I don't understand why it took for now against the Colts, against the Raiders, again, against the Jaguars and the Falcons. If the defense was dialing up this amount of pressure, those games could have went much differently, especially with the offense putting up 20-plus points. So this is second down. Again, you do well, I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to point it out. You do bad, I'm going to give you some crap, and I'm going to point it out. And this is a second down. We're on our own 7-yard line, and this is a great run. This is a great run and great block by Savon Ahmed and by the offensive line here. So the run is supposed to come in here, and you see that we brought a tight end over to help block. The run is supposed to come in here. He bounces it to the outside. Great block to keep everyone away from that side, and he gets a big chunk yardage here. Imagine, that'd be funny, but this isn't college. But imagine he pitches it back to Tua here. Again, this helped. This block right here, that helped drastically. Who was that? Tell me that was Gesicki, and I'm going to scream in joy. I don't think it was Gesicki. No, I think that's Shaheen. I'm gonna say it's Gesicki because I just want him to get re-signed. Imagine he pitches it back to Tua here. Tua takes it longer. But great run. Great block. And I like the decisiveness of the running back deciding that it's not there, and he plants the foot, cuts it to the outside, and just takes off and gets the first down on a critical down and in our own red zone. Love the play. So this is the third down, 3rd and 7, 6. I want you to notice 2 things. First, Patrick Laird's in there, my guy, and they do a block and release, which I think they should do more often. And Tua's going to get some pressure in his face. He's going to roll out and dump it to Patrick Laird for a first down. But what I want you to notice, because that's a great play, we're going to show that. Gesicki's going to come in motion. Watch his reaction. I'm going to play the play, and then I'm going to talk about it. But watch Gesicki's reaction as he's coming in motion. So, again, pressure on him, rolls out to the left, gets it to Patrick Laird for an easy first down. But if you see Gesicki kind of foreshadowing, it's literally a plant. If I'll give you a little film major term, it's called plant and payoff. In the movies, you'll see something and they'll focus on something. It's the plant. Later on in the movie, it'll pay off that you're like, oh, that's why they show da 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 da. It's like watching this is a movie, the plant and payoff. He just had to stop real quick so the snap didn't hit him in the legs. We'll get to that. But you'll see here, pressure on him. Liam Eichenberg struggling again, gets pressure on him, rolls out, finds him, not open, Well, he is open, but he's going to have to throw all the way across his body because of the pressure. Great play. Great play to convert and keep the play going. Patrick Laird should have been on the roster sooner. That's all I'm going to say. So like I said to you before, I don't understand why they weren't calling this more often. It's third down. Again, the game's still tied 3-3. It's not halftime yet. It's third down. They're going to not convert here because of the defense. Looks like they're sending pressure. They're playing man, but this is where I don't mind you playing so far off. When you give yourself a cushion of about 3 yards to the first down. I hate when you play, like if the first down was here, there's been times where the first down would be around here and they play this far off. This makes sense. You get a ton of pressure, you get in Josh Allen's face, and you play man coverage. And it works out perfectly. Free roam right at his face on both ends, forcing him to step up, dumps it off to the tight end. You wrap up tackle. Now fourth down. They need to do this more often and get pressure. I don't understand why it took them until the season was over for them to be like, oh, let's go back to what we were doing last year. It was successful. Then they decided to go for it on fourth down. Decided to go for it on fourth down. Thought we got it offsides there, which threw him out of his game. Should have been a sack, but the Dolphins get the ball. But you see, he thinks that it's offsides here. They got back. So now he's like, offsides. No, man, pay attention. It's lucky that wasn't a fumble. Now the Dolphins have the ball. And this is where, unfortunately, they hurry up down the field and they fumble. And I will talk about that right now. The fumble. And if you guys saw before, Gesicki went in motion before and he had to kind of step back to not get hit by the ball. And you'll see here, he is yelling at, it looks like Devontae Parker about stay or come or something. It looks like Brian Flores wants to call a timeout. Like he's standing over by him. Just complete and utter confusion. Robert Hunt seems to be, they're in a silent count. You're in enemy territory. You're in the Buffalo Bills stadium. You're going to be in a silent count. Essentially, the guard, Hunt, is going to smack, I think this is Ritter, on the leg to let him know to snap the ball. It's just complete and utter confusion. See how he smacked him on the leg? I think, and this is what I think Gesicki went late. Because if you look at when he smacks him on the leg, it looks like Gesicki should have been running sooner. And I think he got confused by something. So he smacked him on the leg and he started running at the same time. I think that was on Gesicki, and I think he got confused. And I've heard people say before, well, Tua should have said this or Tua should have said that. I think the silent count, I think he trusted Gesicki that he would go when he needs to, and I think the silent count was just a disaster in itself. Because how many times have we seen Tua yelling at receivers to go on that side? Why is this offense so confusing to people? Why? You've two offensive coordinators. Stop making things so confusing. Doesn't make sense. And then instead of potentially going up 10-3 going into the half and getting the ball, we give the ball back to them. And they pick it up and they run all the way down to, I think, about the 50 or something. Shoot ourselves in the foot. Again, missed the field goal, and that easily could have been going into the half, 13-3. Man, would that be a different game at the second half? And we were getting the ball after the half, going into the half 13-3. And I said it in the preview, you can't make mistakes. You have to play a perfect game. They did not play a perfect game. The whole offense played a horrible game. So this is second down, 2nd and 10. The offense went, so after the half, the offense went 3 and out, and then defense, then the Bills came out. They went 3 and out. And the Dolphins get the ball back now after a punt. 2nd down after a quick pass that got blown up by Milano. And this is another play where Tua needs to just get rid of the ball. This is, again, part of his inconsistencies where he holds on to the ball too quick because he does have Gesicki crossing open. Right here. you bouncing too much. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. If you have time to bounce, throw the ball. Throw the ball. And he had multiple options, right? So at this point, he could dump it off here. Dump it off here and let him make a play on second down. Get upfield, potential third down. He looks here. Oh, I got time. Let me look somewhere else. He could try to drop a pass in here, but you have to really thread that needle. Just drop it. You're looking at him. Just give it to Gesicki here. You have the potential of a block here, and you can get up the field and make your third down way shorter. But he waits. He steps up, and then he just ends up throwing it away. That's a play where Tua just needs to make the decision. Drop back, look, you dump it off to your running back. Oh, I have time, and it seems like that was his thought process. I have time. Right? Drops back, looks. Thinking to himself, I got time. I have a clean pocket in front of me. What else is available? Looks. Oh, my time, and he's probably seeing it out of his peripheral. My time is slowly dwindling. But here, you look. Oh, I have him. Let it go. But he thinks, I got pressure on me. Let me step up and throw it away. And again, we saw it against the Falcons and we saw it against the Jaguars, where he stood in a pocket where his whole offensive line was completely surrounding him. He was milliseconds away from getting sacked. And on third down, I keep throwing my right, but you get what I'm saying. He throws like a 12-yard pass to Waddle for the first down. We've seen him stand in the pocket with a ton of pressure on him, make the throws. But then we see this where he has guys open and he gets flustered. It's the inconsistencies. That's my biggest knock on Tua. He doesn't have the arm. I don't believe it. I've seen him make the throws. He has poor pocket presence. I've seen him stand in the pocket, make the throws. I've seen him escape pressure, make the throws. What else have I? There's so many different things I've heard where I've seen him do the things that people say he doesn't do. And that's if anyone that bashes Tua or wants Tua gone or thinks he's a bust came to me and said, his inconsistencies drive me nuts, and that's why I don't think Tua is the guy, I'd be like, you have a very valid point. Because that's the biggest thing with me that drives me nuts about Tua is his inconsistencies. Is I've seen him make those throws. And now he's not making that throw. Why, Tua? Why? So it is 3rd and 10 here. And this is one that I'm going to put on the offensive coordinator. And again, like I said, to me, the entire offense failed this one. And the reason I'm putting it on the offensive coordinator is because you have all these guys here, right? And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 guys coming at you. And here's your first down. So you got to go 10 yards. He motioned the running back out. And the running back is essentially going to be just go route. And you're going to have Devontae Parker come up, run a curl. I think he runs the opposite way. And you're going to have Jalen Waddle run up and run a curl. And my problem is the fact that these guys are going to be so close to each other that it draws these 3 defenders right here, and it makes it a hard throw. If I'm the offensive corner and if I'm drawing up the routes, okay, you want to have a curl route here, no, I didn't want to do that. Have Parker then open it up. Have Parker pull these defenders away and have him run a post route. Because then all of a sudden it pulls the defenders away and leaves a potential one-on-one here that you could potentially fit into Waddle and have him break the tackle and maybe get first and more. But the fact that he has 2 curl routes right next to each other, again, it drives me nuts that he makes routes where the receivers are in the same area. And you'll see what I'm talking about. They don't send them all, but Tua has a clean pocket. Still has time, but again, bad block in here. I think that's Mike Gesicki. And you'll see, right? He has to let it go. And he does let it go at a perfect time to hit Waddle here. But look at them. And like I said, you drew 3 defenders in the vicinity. And you have the running back here doing whatever. It's a bad throw. Run to his right, has pressure on him. But why that route combination? Why have both guys curl at that point to bring the defenders over? It makes no sense to me. I feel like they could have drawn up a better route. I feel like you could have had one of the tight ends also go out on the route and potentially given more of a option for Tua. I understand they blitzed here, right? And it's Gesicki that let the blitzer come through. But maybe have Gesicki come do an in route. Maybe have Gesicki do a post, right? You have Waddle coming up, doing a curl. You have the running back doing a go. Have him come up, do a post. Have Gesicki come up, do a post. Have multiple routes. Have this crossing route here. Have the guys cross in front. Drop it off to one of these guys once the cross happens. I don't know. Like I always say, I'm just a schmo from New Jersey. But I feel like they could have drew this play up much better. So if you remember before, when I said I liked what the Dolphins were doing on defense, this is a 3rd and 15. And I think at this point, they're up. They're not up yet. Still 3-3 at this point. This is the scoring drive where they march down the field and then make it 10-3. But if you remember, I said that the pressure and the aggression from before, they needed to do that more. They don't do it here. I don't know why all of a sudden Boyer's just like, man, I'm just going to change it up. They drop into zone, and watch how much time Josh Allen has. I'll play it again, but watch how much time Josh Allen has. They only send 4. He had so much time. And sorry, they were playing man here. I will say this. Nick Needham was getting completely owned by Cole Beasley all day. But I'm going to count. They only send 4. On a 3rd and 15, you only send 4. You're playing man coverage. It's cover 2. You have 2 high safeties. Man coverage. And we'll count how long he has. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets the ball out. You give any quarterback in the NFL 5 seconds to throw the ball, that's what's going to happen. He catches it in front of the first down marker, and then Cole Beasley goes forward and gets it. Why did you stop sending pressure on 3rd downs? You send pressure there, and he doesn't have time for him to get open. You gave Josh Allen 5 seconds for Cole Beasley to eventually get open on Nick Needham. And it's not a real knock on Nick Needham here, because watch the route. Goes in, and then comes back out. He has enough time. Nick Needham was on Cole Beasley on his initial route. You gave Josh Allen and Cole Beasley enough time that Cole Beasley was allowed to go in and then out. Why stop sending pressure at that point? I don't get it. This is the very next play. They are going to blitz. I think this is Nick Needham. They are going to, again, do the one thing I hate that they do, and they are going to drop Jalen Phillips back into coverage. And they're going to blitz Nick Needham. So you're going to have this big tight end on Nick Needham. You're going to have a man on a man, and you're going to have 1, 2, just offensive linemen just like, give me someone to block. Oh, Nick Needham, you got through the tight end? Sure, you're going to have to go through a right tackle as well. But watch how much time Josh Allen has here. I'll count it again. This is the very next play, just so you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why did you stop sending pressure at this point? The game is still tied at this point. It's not 10-3. It's not 27. It's still 3-3 here. Why did you stop sending pressure? Stop dropping Jalen Phillips into coverage. Why go away from what works? Turn the TV on. It just makes no sense to me. So this is another play where they have 2 routes go out. It's play action here. You're going to have Gesicki essentially doing a crossing route, and you're going to have Waddle essentially doing a go, but then he kind of turns it upfield. Looks like a corner route, but he starts running straight like it's a go. And then you're going to have play action here. The running back's going to come out. And they take away these deep routes. They just, all right, throw it underneath. We don't care. We're up by a touchdown. And you'll see it. Double. And then he has to dump it off to the running back here and hope he gets points. I don't like the offensive scheme and the offensive route running and route, combinations and stuff. Just, they don't make sense to me. That's the best you have? And this isn't the first. I showed you other ones where the curl routes with these offensive coordinators are garbage. So this is the drive that results in a touchdown. This is 4th down. I had to go for it at this point. And this is the pass. This is an absolutely beautiful pass. And like I said, I talked about a good amount of bad. And if you do something good, I'm going to point it out. And this is a beautiful pass. This is to Gesicki. And, steps up in the pocket. And and again, I'm going to keep reiterating it. I apologize if it's redundant and you hate that I do it. His pocket presence, and be consistent with this type of play. Be consistent. Feels the pressure, right? No one's open at this point. You have a potential pass here. He's still coming off his block and go. You have this potential here, but no one's really open yet. So he needs to get more time. What does he do? He steps up in the pocket. And still, at this point, you have to make a big boy throw. At this point, you have to make a throw, and you have to throw someone open. And what does he do? He throws it to where right here, and he gets it to Gesicki on a beautiful throw, on a 40-plus yard throw. Let's see how many air yards he got on this pass. Steps up, lets it rip at the 50. Where does the ball land? At about the, so that's what? Yeah, it's 33-yard pass. Gets it where it needs to be. And they eventually score on this play. And we'll look at it from the other angle, because this is the last play we're going to talk about, because after this, it's just downhill from here. But this needs to be more consistent from him. Pressure, steps up. You're not going to throw it here. You have the defender right here. He's not even ready for it. He's not even looking for it. And again, he needs to wait for this to open up. Steps up, sees it, makes eye contact. He's not even looking at him. I'm going to drop it where only you can get it. I trust you. Puts it right in his breadbasket. It's a beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. That's what I got for you in the film breakdown. Again, I showed you the defense, styling up the pressure at the perfect point, playing a perfect man scheme, getting after it. And then I showed you where they went away from it and they gave Josh Allen 4 to 5 to 6 seconds in the pocket to let things develop. I showed you plays where Tua should have thrown things quicker, should have thrown to different open people. But then I showed you plays where Tua makes a play to Gesicki. He throws a nice pass for a first down. He makes the whole team is inconsistent. Offensive line, great blocking on a nice run play I showed you. Offensive line also letting tackles for losses and sacks. Inconsistent. There's no consistency on this team, especially at the quarterback position. He'll make great throws. He'll make dumb throws. He'll make great reads who won't see guys open. And that is the biggest knock, and that's why the team right now is 1-7. And a lot of inconsistencies come from experience. This team lacks experience. I don't understand why Brian Flores thought the young will learn and will do better in that inconsistencies. That is the theme of the 2021 Miami Dolphins. Inconsistent. And that's how they lose. You play great defense and all of a sudden we need you to make a stop to win the game. Inconsistent, you don't do it. The defense is playing great. Offense, we need you to score 28, 21, 24 like you did. Inconsistent, can't do it. That's the biggest thing. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If I missed anything or if I missed any routes or anything, let me know. I learned from you guys as much as I like hopefully teaching you guys. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Things are different. I think me and Big O are going to be video is going to come out tomorrow. Also, the picks video will also come out tomorrow. You're going to get a double header with the videos tomorrow. And then you get the preview of the Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans, which is going to be a real interesting game now because of the whole trade stuff. So other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.